Jelly Belly.
Just got home, and they're kind of like a doorbell. They all have to bark when somebody comes in the door.
Yeah, Roger, I hear him in the background. Yeah, well, anyway. Well, like I say, he's been busy, and boy, I'm going to be tickled to death. I told him, I said, well, you know, who's going to promote your Motor Mouth Mall equipment when I get this thing going, don't you? He just laughed. Because Copperhead does it all the time. You know, he tells everybody when they say that you sound good that he attributes that to Motor Mouth Mall's Mauldulator box.
Oh, Roger that. Yeah, I do that too. If I talk Skip, I think yesterday Motor Mouth told him I was running a modulator, but when he talked to Log Trucker. But yeah, when I shoot Skip, I usually give him credit, you know, for his technology. And you know, every chance I get, I might forget once in a while, but not very often. And yeah, it really it's amazing. It really cuts through. I think, you know, once you get that set up and you get used to it, when you shoot Skip, you'll get right through a lot of people. That additional modulation seems to really punch through. And with your voice, you got to be really sounding good. And but while I have you on the line, has anyone heard from Turtle? Haven't heard him out there in a while.
Yeah, he was on there. I talked to him a little bit yesterday, off and on. He's got a sister that's in bad shape with cancer or something. Sister, daughter-in-law, some kinfolk, and he's been sick. He's got the terrible flu, so he's been kind of staying away. And in the house, and out of that little room in the back there, that little house in the back, for the bad weather, he just didn't want to get any sicker. But he's still around. He's still out there now and then.
Oh, Roger that. Well, if you talk to him, just tell him hi. I enjoy talking to him, but I haven't heard him out there in forever. And I thought, well, maybe something, you know, he's off the radio or something, but I don't get on here as much as I'd like to, but I'm glad he's out there, so maybe I'll catch him one day. But if you talk to him, tell him I said hi.
I certainly will. Have you heard anything from Ron and Smokey?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm sending him some chicken treats tomorrow. I guess it's pretty chilly where he's at. He said it was about 2 degrees and lots of snow. But Smokey's doing good, and I guess he's doing good as well.
Roger that. Hey, for the first time, I think I've heard somebody calling out there. Kansas, right?
Yep, he's in Kansas, a town called Hiawatha.
Hiawatha, good Indian name. Yeah, I heard somebody calling or talking to somebody. I couldn't hear the guy in Kansas, but I heard the guy that was talking to the guy in Kansas.
Roger. Well, yeah, I don't know if he gets on the radio much. He said it's really dead. Where he's at, there's no one on the radio. So unless he happens to be in the motorhome, I doubt seriously he's got a base station set up, but, well, he might. I'll have to ask him next time I talk to him.
Well, if he said it's still running that motorhome with that antenna set up, that radio you fixed him up with, or straightened him out on, he should be able to get out, I would think, but if he's got any conditions that way.
Yeah, I would think so. If he, gets his house all set up, he's just got so much in the fire right now, so many irons in the fire. I guess he's trying to get his house all fixed up. But maybe come summertime, maybe, he can get a big stick or something and set up something in the house. That would be cool. He's got a couple radios, so all he really needs is a power supply and base antenna and a little bit of coax, and he'd be okay. But I don't know if that's something he's really even interested in doing right now, because, like I said, he said there was just nobody at all on the air where he's at.
Well, if he can't hear anybody, then it ain't going to do any good, I don't think, to try. I guess you could get on there and call blind for somebody, but no, I know what you mean. Well, it just might be the location's not the best.
Well, I haven't even looked up Hiawatha, Kansas. It was probably out in the boonies somewhere. It's probably out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what the closest city is. I guess he's on the Nebraska-Kansas border. So, I don't know what the closest big city that he's around. Might be even be in Nebraska. I don't know. So I'll have to look it up on the map, see where it's at.
Roger that. Well, I'm going to bail for now, Night Hawk. Good talking to you. I got to go to the store and clean myself up. I got a late start today, no lunch yet. I gotta go buy Spencer's, pick up a bite.
All righty. Well, it was always a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. So I'll let you go and drive careful going down to Spencer's, and we will catch you when you get that hi-fi set up. That'll be pretty awesome to listen to. So I'm looking forward to that.
So am I, Night Hawk. You bet. All right. We'll catch you after a bit. Good talking to you.
All righty. We might be out here. We're just kind of goofing around right now. Like I said, I'm going to run in and take a shower, and might have to throw some tri-tip on the barbecue. But other than that, I don't have any plans for the evening. Got to go back to work tomorrow. So I'll let you go, and we'll catch up with you in a few, maybe this evening. If not, I'll catch you in the future.
Will do, Night Hawk. All right. God bless you and your family. We'll catch you later.
Copy that. You too. Take care.
You say you hear a hum on your end?
Yeah, do you hear it out there?
No, I don't hear a hum on my end, but I don't know, you running off of some kind of power supply or something? And maybe that's where your hum's coming from.
Well, no, I was just talking to Night Hawk, my neighbor out here. He's close by.
Who was it? The week on Jelly Belly also?
Well, he didn't sound as clear.
Not as clear as normal.
I heard it wrong.
Okay, yeah. Let me switch radios here for a second.
Because Copperhead's talking to Paso Robles.
What? Oh, well, I don't know where Copperhead's talking to, but we're having a hard time hearing Copperhead.
I can barely hear him, too.
Well, the other way.
Roger. Now, wait. Joe was in there. Joe, key up again.
Yeah, I could just barely hear Copperhead.
Okay, trail mix?
Yeah, I can't even barely hear him at all, neither. I think he's got his antenna aimed out another direction.
Okay, yeah, you're both hammering this receiver really good, but there's no clarity.
If you turn down the volume a little.
Turn the volume down? All right, see what happens. Go ahead, key up again, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that thing sounds good.
All right, how about that right there? Key up again, somebody.
Okay, how's that sound, Grandpa Jones?
I guess this receiver's not up to par with the last receiver that he had.
I got it. 010, call it.
010, I hear you out here.
This is one we take my call.
Okay, now 245, key up again.
Okay. Well, that's the first time I heard that 010. I mean, I always knew he was out there, but I could never understand him.
Roger, okay. Trail mix, key up again.
All righty, trail mix keying up, and yeah, 010 got him a new antenna up there, 245.
Okay, all right, good deal on the antennas. This receiver's borderline, not quite sounding so good over here compared to the realistic radio, I guess. But the transmit's working right now. Is that right? Trail mix 245. Does this transmit sound okay? Jelly Belly liked it.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. The audio is incredible.
All right. Well, we have the Mauldulator and the PC and everything working right here. It's just the receive characteristics on this radio is just not a whole lot of ears are break.
Yeah, does that radio does it have an RF on it? Is it up?
It has an RF gain control, and the way it looks like somebody might have modified it. The way this RF gain works is if you turn it all the way up, which is normally open like a normal RF gain would be all the way open. Normally an RF gain is really not a gain, it's an attenuator. But this one, if you turn it all the way up, it's insane. It's like a receive amp. So I've got it turned at about 12 o'clock there, Break.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what that thing was like. But that was actually done by coppers. Yeah, other than that, nothing's really been done to that radio, other than the clarifier. But, wow, okay, yeah, because that thing always had amazing ears. That's one of the reasons I like that radio.
Yeah, it's not really the ears. I mean, I could hear 010. It's just the clarity, I think. It's something to do with the clarity of it.
Okay, all right, I got you. So it's not so much you can't hear, it's just the quality of the... Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of scratchy and thin, and the clarity is just not there. So I was going to switch radios so I could get an idea of what the receive sounded like on the other radio.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be here. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. I just got in the office. I was out in the field, so I'll be right back then.
All right, now we got an external speaker on this radio. Let's see how this sounds.
Okay, go ahead. How about it?
All right, 010. I hear you real good. What's going on there?
I don't know.
All right, well, we hear 010. What about 245, Jelly Belly, or Copperhead?
Is that the JA still?
Yeah, we're still on the JA with the Mauldulator, but we put an external speaker on it.
Yeah, did that change anything at all? Maybe a little bit?
Yep, it's a whole lot clearer, a whole lot better.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I ever did run that internal speaker. But, all right, maybe I made it different.
Yeah, this is nice. This is working properly.
Yeah, the thing does sound amazing.
Now, I do have a little static noise that I use. I'm going to hit the NBN-L switch here real quick and see what that does to your audio.
Okay. Did that change anything at all?
Still good. It's perfect. We don't hear that noise anymore, and you sound great.
All right, yeah, that audio is just... The bass is just perfect. I mean, any more and it would be maybe a bit too much, but it sounds great.
Awesome. That's what we want to hear. So we got good tonal quality, good bass, good treble, all that good stuff. We've got, I've got Grandpa Jones set up with a push-to-talk switch. It's like a button, like that switch I showed you. But I also got him set up with a switch that you just rotate. It's like a quarter-turn rotation. And it keys, and then a quarter-turn rotation the other way, and it unkeys, so he can lock it on if he wants to.
Oh, very nice. So the mic is on a boom?
Yeah. I was going to put it on one of those booms that I had, but there was no place to clamp it here. So he has a floor-standing boom, like like for a stage. It's got a boom that slides forward and backward and tilts, and then it's got an arm that raises. He could stand up if he wanted to or whatever. So, yeah, it's got a really nice, he could play his guitar and it'll pick it up real good.
Well, outstanding. Well, it sounds great. So, yeah, I just have to play with it for a while and see how it works. But, no, right now it sounds amazing.
Roger, well, that's good to hear. That's awesome. And hopefully when I get into the mobile, I won't sound too horrible. I had that RF gain up all the way on it before, and I came back and he goes, "Man, you just sounded horrible." I was like, "Oh no, my mobile sounds good. I know it sounds good, but I think it has to do with that RF gain modification that is supposed to be right at 12 o'clock, and I think it works good there."
All right. Well, he knows where all the buttons need to be, so it's. Simplicity is still there.
Exactly. Yep. And so yeah, I think we're good to go. And the S meter doesn't work all the time on transmit, and it's working now on receive, which is good.
Okay, I was unaware of. I just know it was tiny and hard for me to see.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason it's not working on transmit is because it's not being driven by the internal radio workings anymore. The Mauldulator is taking care of transmit, so all it's showing is a little carrier. And hello. Yeah, no, it's just showing a little carrier is all. But that's normal. That's usually indicative of what happens when you stick a Mauldulator on a radio. But the receive is working. It just is kind of yellow and kind of small. one of these days it'd be nice to do a copperhead style S meter on here, but I think it's working pretty good now.
Yeah, even Copperhead said it sounded really good.
Oh yeah, yep, and I could hear 010 in Guadalupe, which is good. So the sensitivity of the receiver is good. And you and I haven't heard Trail Mix now on this speaker, but I would imagine Trail Mix sounds good too. You sound good. Copperhead hasn't been on this receiver yet. Where's Copperhead?
Yeah, he had to run up to the house. I guess he has guests coming or something.
Ah, Roger on the guests. Okay, sounds good. Well, I think this is working the way it's supposed to now.
Yeah, just got to get out there and, be nice if there was some skip so you could get out and talk. But, yeah, it sounds great.
How's barefoot sound there? That's barefoot all the way down to about a quarter-watt dead key, or a little bit above a quarter-watt dead key, I think.
No signal strength. It's got just a hair forward swing, but, yeah, I know you're there. I can hear you, but it's way, way low. Roger, yeah. Yeah, to get the amplifier to be happy, I used the scope to tune the amplifier up. So the amplifier was being hammered by too big of a signal barefoot way before. So now, when he goes barefoot, there's going to be a bigger difference between the amplifier versus no amplifier. But with the amplifier, the PEP power is the same as it always was. So, yeah, it gives him a little bit more flexibility now. Yeah, because, that went from, like I say, it was barely moving the needle on it to like 8+. So, yeah, huge difference. Now, do you remember, are you in a location where you could tell what his old signal was with the amplifier and everything running on the other radio versus this one? Yeah, this is definitely, he had always hit me between that 5 and 6 constantly, but the audio was always, nice. It was Grandpa. But this one here, the signal strength is definitely up for whatever reason. Roger, signal's up and the audio is up. Yeah, big time on the audio, but the signal strength, maybe an S unit, a half S unit or so, right in that range. All right, very good, awesome. Well, that's what we're shooting for. Things are good. All right. I think one of these days, one of the things that I could do on this thing would be to put a dial key relay on it and put a separate receiver. But then that would require juggling another receiver. I thought, man, how cool would it be to have a wideband hi-fi receiver? Well, I did ask Tinker. I looked briefly and I couldn't figure it out, but I asked Tinker to take a look at the values of capacitors to change to increase the bottom end, and he didn't get back to me soon enough, and I didn't want to wait longer, so I didn't touch the receiver. I was going to do a little bit wideband receive on the bass extension of the bass frequencies, but I don't think I'm going to do that yet. Yeah, I guess, it would be nice to have that receive, but yeah, he gets used to this and move forward, but yeah, this is, what a huge difference. Yeah, the impedance of this external speaker and the nature of the speaker, it's like a 3-inch dual, two-way bookshelf speaker. I think he got it from Country Bear. It really, it changes the whole characteristics of the quality of the receive. It's a whole lot clearer and better. Well, all positives, that's for sure. Roger D. Well, it'll be interesting if you had that Watergate rolling up at the ranch. It'll be interesting to hear what that sounds like. Yeah, I'm going to go find out right now. I'm going to get up out of here and hop in the truck, and we'll listen to Grandpa Jones and you and some others talk. And when I get to the ranch, if I've got that Watergate, I'm gonna clip it and post it, and we'll have it up there. Roger, did you happen to make a video of him talking on it for Facebook? Yeah, I did. I did a quick video of him keying up on it and all that for Facebook. I did do that. Outstanding. All right, well, yeah. You get on the road, you'll be the best judge of what it sounds like. You've talked to Grandpa enough on his station, so, yeah, you'll be able to hear for yourself. Oh, yeah. Yep, absolutely. Very cool. All right, I'm going to get out of here and realize we haven't had that fan on there, so we've got to turn the fan back on. Here, let me do one more thing here. I'm going to plug a fan in here. All right, now we got the fan in the background. How's that? Is that still okay? Yeah, I I can't hear it, John.
All right, good deal. All right, that's what we want. All right, give me a few minutes. I'll be back out in my mobile shortly. Motormouth Mall waving.
I sure hope that speaker sounds better now there, Grandpa Jones. I'm mobile and out of here, and how's that sound there, Greg?
Well, you're good and close, I can tell that. Sounds all right.
Oh, wow, that audio is smooth.
Well, thank you very much.
Man, that's like a whole different radio.
Yeah, roger that. I got a lot better, that speaker did a lot to help the clarity too coming back in, John.
Good deal. I can't wait to check the recording, the Watergate up there on the hill.
Roger.
Sounds better with him on it, John.
Yeah, well, I tuned it with his audio. I used mine just for getting it close, and then we set the tonal controls and all that with his audio.
Yeah, his voice is just booms. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make my voice work. You've got a relatively simple session file over there. It's nothing but a isotope alloy, which has like a EQ and a compressor and a gate. And then it has a EQ, which we're not using a lot of, but a little bit of it. And then it has a limiter, a brick wall limiter that we're using. So that's all it's got. I mean, real simple. And, yeah, I'm happy with it.
Outstanding. I take it you made more than one copy of that file?
No. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. No. I didn't. Oh, no, I did. Technically, I did. I saved... Yes, I did. I made 2 copies of it. But, yeah, I have like 4 copies of the other ones I made scattered throughout the computer. But I did make a couple copies of this one.
All right. Well, there's a backup for the backup then. That's good.
Exactly.
Joe, thanks for the radio. It's really kind of you to do that.
Oh, no, John. It's all John. John put this whole thing together. I donated a couple parts, but it sounds great, Grandpa.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I had to look. We're going to have to leave that noise limiter on because it affects the get back for some reason. So it'll be a permanent on for me on the noise limiter.
That's okay. That's how I do it on my radio here in the mobile, too. It's always on. I've always got a little bit of...
Roger, Motormouth.
Yeah, I don't think I ever turned mine off either.
Man, that audio is so full and so rich there, Grandpa Jones. It sounds like you're literally sitting in the cab here in the truck with me.
Oh, well, bless your heart. Well, I owe it all to Motormouth Mall Technologies. One fat one at a time.
Now, we are going to switch over eventually. I'm going to switch over that audio interface because it's got a crackling in it. That's not anything to do with anything but the audio interface. It rode around in my truck for a long time, and I should have just put a new one in there. $29, what was I thinking? Anyway, I put that old one in there, and it has a little bit of a crackliness in it, and that would all go away if we changed the audio interface over to a different one. So I'll do that eventually, but it's certainly not a real big problem. It would be a nitpicky kind of a thing to break.
Yeah, roger that, Motormouth.
You're probably the only one that can hear that, John.
Roger, only because I'm aware of it.
Yeah, because I don't hear anything.
tinkle pink to hear it sound like it sounds, that's for sure. It sounds bodacious.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I wasn't quite for sure what to expect, because I listened to you and Copperhead and Frank, so I really wasn't for sure what to expect with his deep a voice. But yeah, I have to say, I'm impressed, and the fact that it's the simplicity, it's on and off, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, he won't have to ever mess with any of the EQs or the compressors or limiter, noise gate, or any of that stuff. It is just what it is, and it's simple. And the computer, I had it running on 12 volts for a little while there, and then I realized that he may shut that 12-volt power supply off when he shuts his amplifier off, And so I thought, well, if that ever gets, or the radio, and so I thought, well, if that gets shut off, it would just shut off the computer abruptly. So I put the computer on a 110-volt supply, and so it just stays on all the time. It doesn't draw any current to speak of or anything like that, so it just stays on. The monitor goes to sleep, and the computer just stays on. And then he just shuts off the 12-volt supply, which kills the radio and the amplifier. So it's all real simple.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, to me, that makes the whole modulator thing much more appealing, because I'm like Grandpa. I don't like messing with buttons. So, hell, maybe I'll even think about it,
Roger. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, you should have heard Country Bear out there earlier. I was out there, and it did. It sounded good. And I went ahead and unbuttoned all the test equipment and put everything all back on the air and keyed up. He goes, "Man, you sound awful. Sounds horrible." It's like, well, if you're going to be criticizing and telling me how bad it is, why don't you be constructive? And he came back and gave me some specifics, and I thought, oh, okay, cool. I'll listen to that. And I got that all squared away, and here it is. So unfortunately, it reinforced Country Bear's idea of how much he hates anything but a knob and a mic, a stock radio. He doesn't like anything but a stock radio, and I understand his perspective, but man, he's got to be a little bit more open-minded than that to break.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I have to say, I'm kind of that way, but that's just because I've never been too much into the tech side of it. But this here, the simplified version, not having to tune anything, God, I love it.
Sure. Yeah. It definitely seems to work really good. It's perfect. So it's the latest and greatest method there, and a simple file, doesn't require anything crazy. Everything's free. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that.
That's the best part.
Roger.
There you go. Grandpa, I got to run out and grab me another cup of coffee down in the kitchen, so go ahead. Key up some time now. John's got some distance from you.
Roger that. All right, Joe. Thanks again. Bless you. I appreciate it.
That's got to be the biggest sounding radio. I mean, Jelly Belly sounded great on his Mauldulator, but not like that. And Nighthawk sounds awesome on his Mauldulator, but not like that. It's your voice, though. It's like, holy cow, it just sounds humongous.
Well, thank you very much, Motormouth. Coming from you, that's more than a compliment. That's over the top.
Sure. Man, I am blown away. Well, let me make a quick trip into the store here, and I'll be right back, and then I'll head up to the ranch, and hopefully the water gets rolling up there, Break.
Roger that. And while you're out, I'm going to be rearranging a few things, picking up here and putting back there, but I'll catch you when you get back out of here, Motormouth. Grandpa beside me.
All right, sounds good. And man, I do believe that thing sounds better than this right here. And this is that on steroids, so wow, crazy. All right, good deal. I'll be back.
Roger, Motormouth. Thanks again, bless your heart. Oh, man, I feel like the king of the hill. Oh, you don't know how good it makes me feel. And I want to thank you and Joe again. Just bless your little pea-picking hearts.
Well, it was our pleasure, that's for sure, man. Absolutely.
Roger.
somebody out there.
I think that antenna on your truck picks up better by Antron motor mouth, because I've heard you hear people out there that I don't hear. It's just all in the antenna, I guess, now.
It's funny because a lot of the times when I have a water gate, like I do have a water gate rolling up on the hill right now, and what the water gate hears and what my truck hears are two different things, even though I'm, right now I'm about a little over a quarter mile away from my base, maybe, as a crow flies. And, I can be anywhere from a quarter mile to a half a mile or an eighth of a mile right next to the doggone thing. And my mobile hears different things than the base hears. So it's really weird. Doesn't make any rhyme or reason there as to how or why the two antennas hear different things. And not one thing better or worse necessarily, like one's always more than the other, one's always different than the other. So that doesn't make any sense.
Well, who knows? Mother Nature must have something to do with it, Motormouth.
I guess so. Things sure are turning green out here on the ranch.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Did you get all your seeding done?
No, I took a break from it yesterday, and I figured that there was going to be a little bit of rain. And since there was a little bit of rain, hardly any to speak of, but since there was, it might help. I waited a little bit too long to get in there and start raking that stuff in. The soil was starting to get harder to work with, so I thought maybe this little rain we got today might make that a little bit easier. Let me unlock the gate here, open up the gate.
I don't.
Yeah, heading up the driveway, man, all the green grass, I'll tell you, it's just so beautiful. It's going to get thicker and thicker now.
Joe.
Hey, Motor Dust.
Yes?
Hey, I want to go take a ride out there. I want to go check it out, see what you've been up to.
All right, come on out.
All right, well, give me about an hour or two, but I will text you to let you know when I'm on my way.
All right, sounds good. I'll be here.
All right, perfect.
Got it out here hammering down.
All right, Grandpa. Jesus. That's such audio, man. Lovely.
Motormouth Miles spent a long time tuning this thing up. He had to have everything just perfect on the computer. He checked everything, backwards and forwards.
I gotta say, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to hear you on a modulator. Them were the plans a long time ago, and finally we got you one anyways. Or they got you one, but heck yeah. Yeah, good to hear you on one. Sounds lovely.
Oh, I like that wideband sound. Always have liked that wideband, beautiful, clear, clean, crisp, and bodacious wideband sound, JB.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna get back out and do what I gotta do, and then heck yeah, we're gonna go take a cruise over there on the hill and just check out everything going on.
All right, JB.
Alrighty, you guys have a good one. And like I said, Motor, I will text you when I'm on my way.
Roger, sounds good. We'll see you before long, and I'll look for your text. And I'll see you soon. Motormouth Mall Mobile, getting on down.